welcome to chapter 21. Today we're going to do something just a touch different with what we're going to do in this video. Is first of all, we're going to talk about the drawer installation a little bit again. And secondly, I'm going to touch on another subject that's been important to me lately, and that's the whole issue of retirement. But before we get into that, yesterday, Tuesday, I had my Tuesday afternoon turning group here, and man, did we ever have fun. We turned those wet bowls that I cut apart in chapter 20. And this is what I started with, and we ended up with bowl blanks like this. And man, oh man, I was so proud of the students here yesterday. Nobody had a catch. These wet bowls can get really fragile as you get close to finishing them. And my group, everybody cut well. They were riding the bevel, using their edges properly. Nobody had anything come apart, and I was just in awe. I've been to turning classes with wet bowls, and usually it's pop, 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 and they're all exploding. So to my Tuesday turning group, if any of them ever watch this, it was awesome. I think I had more fun than you did. So that happened yesterday. This is going to be a bit of an odd week this week because Friday is Good Friday. And usually we're in Saskatoon on Fridays, but this week it's going to be on Thursday. And we're going to pick up all the, well, not all, but some of the supplies to finish our bathroom. So, excuse me, the first week in April, my goal is to do the demolition in the bathroom in the house and start building that back to where we can put tile on and finish that. So the bathroom vanity won't go on hold. It'll probably go to be my second project. So I usually work on 2 or 3 things at a time. So it's kind of been my second project all along anyway. So that's not going to be much of a change. It's embarrassing that this thing has taken me the better part of 2 months to do, but like I said, there's been a lot happening. Why I'm going back to revisit this drawer video again today. Saturday when we were having coffee here with my coffee group, which, not my coffee group, but there's a group that comes over here Saturday afternoons for coffee and pop and good things like that. One of the people here asked the question, like I had this drawer in the last video, but he asked, how do you put these upper ones in? Like how do you get the slides in the right place and all that stuff? So I thought, well, hey, I kind of left everybody hanging in chapter 19, so I would do one more quick video to show that, and then we leave the drawer thing behind. So that's why we're using, or that's why one of the topics for today's video is drawer installation. The other topic I talked about a little bit is the whole issue of retirement. And the fact that there's a group of us that get together for coffee on Saturday afternoon kind of points that direction. As I look through my YouTube analytics, I realize that the people that are watching my channel are about my age. So I'm fine with that. That's great, because I don't see why teenagers would want to watch some old guy building a bathroom vanity. Wouldn't make a lot of sense to me. But if that's going to be the direction or the clientele, I think I have a few insights into retirement that maybe people share or don't share, I don't know. But, and I don't intend to turn this into a retirement channel, because my goal is to do what I want to do, and that's part of retirement. So now's your time to do what you want to do, and I'm going to do that. But my passion is working on things like this. That's what I do. So anyway, you may see a little bit of content towards that direction in my videos. The other thing to talk about quickly before we get started is we are approaching the 100 subscriber mark. And I think last I checked it was 92. So I'm thinking with these next 2 videos, chances are I'll go over 100 if things go the way they have. So first of all, thank you to the 92 of you that have subscribed and are willing to look at my stuff. I appreciate that immensely. Yeah, thank you. And I have a way to give that 100 subscriber giveaway. I have a way to do that. So once I hit 100 subscribers, I'll tell you about that on the channel. Let's see, before we get started, what else are we gonna do? Oh, the other thing I did this last week, 2 other things actually. I played with finish a little bit for this vanity, and this is the finish I'm using on, this is just on a piece of Baltic birch plywood. And it's rough right now. I didn't really prep it, sand it or anything. I just brushed the finish on. But I would need to sand this lightly and give it another coat. But birch, I like it. It looks good. The finish I'm using, I have almost a whole gallon of this, so I'm going to use it. It's a floor polyurethane. It should be tough. It should be waterproof, as I have it on my steps that go from our garage level into our house level. And they're about 2.5 years old now, and maybe 3 years by now. And they're doing very well. So I think this is fine. It's going to work. And then the other thing that I was playing with, and I'm not going to show you yet, is a pull design for the drawer faces that I've been working on. My wife would like these really smooth, like nothing to get caught on. So I can't claim this idea completely as mine. I'm going to tweak it a little bit, but I came across something on the internet that intrigued me, so I am going to kind of make my version of it. But like I say, it's not my original idea. It's somebody else's, and that's why I love it when people share things on YouTube and Instagram. You learn things from others, and that's really cool. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera in close and get you set up so you can see exactly what's happening in the drawer. You probably won't be seeing me a whole lot, which isn't a bad thing. And we're going to get on to that part of the video. Well, this could be really interesting. I'm just trying to get a little better photography when I'm working close to things, and I've got my phone on my tripod and I'm going to be tripping over it, I'm sure. So just to show you what I've done is I'm just going to pan the camera a little bit here. What I do is I calculated, you can see the marks on the side here. I calculated where my drawer slides need to be to get three equal slides, or 3 equal spaces here. So the line here is where my drawer slide needs to be. So you can buy jigs to put slides in, and I'm sure they have one for this Blum hardware. But often what I do is I take a piece of shop scrap, in this case some 3/4 inch MDF that I had lying around, and I measure where this is from the base, and I simply cut it to that height. What that allows me to do is to put this on there and have it held, and I can be assured that it's level and true and all that good stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on like that, and I'd like to put a clamp on here just to hold it, but I don't think you're going to be able to see that if I do that. And I started shooting video here really before I'm completely ready. So we're just going to take that down for a second. And I need to get my drill, which I had left just out of reach. Okay, there we go. Now, what I did is, remember that I needed to make sure they were 3/4 of an inch back. Well, there's my jig. And you notice that I set my my riser here to the same 3/4 of an inch gap. Okay, we're slowly getting it here. There, now I think I'll be able to work with my hands free kind of deal here. There we go, that looks awesome. Okay, that's held in place, it's level, it's all good. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Wix bit and I'm going to just get a little bit of a start. And then number 8 by 3/4 screw. And we're just going to put that in. There, that is awesome. Okay, now I can take the clamp off and we're going to tilt you up just a little bit and maybe move you over just a little bit. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to put another one in back here. And all that Wix bit does is just cut a little bit of, where are we here? Oh, there we are. See, you push it and the drill bit comes out and establishes a center hole. Doesn't need to be very deep. It just needs to be able to capture the tip of the screw when it gets to that point. Okay, and this, okay, so that's one installed. Now to do the other side, I simply move this over. Oh, this is going to be a good one. We'll edit that out. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, and we're kind of back again. Okay, so I take it out of this side and I turn it around and I put it on this side. I don't know if you can see anything that I'm doing right now. Okay, how does that look? Oh, okay, well, that's actually not bad. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing. Now, the thing I like about doing it this way is I know the slides are level and true, and I can work with both my hands once I get everything the way I want it. But probably the most awkward part here is doing this. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't have to do that, but it sure helps. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing. And this is getting a little tight in here. And I'm going to drill this hole while I have... Okay, so I've got both holes drilled. And we're going to put a screw in. I should maybe get my shorter screw bits for this. One other thing I noticed, and you'll notice it when we put this drawer in, I really should have made my drawers 1/16 of an inch shorter. There, this is the one. Okay, let's see if this is going to go in. I've had a little trouble getting them in, and I mentioned it the other day, and the problem is that the drawer right now it's not going in those holes in the back. See if I can reach around. Okay, that side's in. Nope, that side's not yet. Okay. Oh. It's sticking out a little far yet. It's working nice. It's a little up on this side. I'm going to have to deal with that. And there is an adjustment on the back too. Man, I wish I had that front adjustment, because it almost looks like it's just a little not parallel there. Okay, well, I think I've got it to the point where I can make this work. So that's all for now. Well, with the top drawer successfully installed, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting these things to lock in, and I suspect if I would have made my drawers just a tad shorter. They are exactly 20 inches, but you know, going 19 and 15 sixteenths or 7/8 may have worked better. So I've got the top one in. It works. I've figured out a way with a clamp to get everything to lock in really nicely. And now I'm working on the second one, and I worked ahead a little bit. I looked at my kind of story pole on the side here and figured out what I needed to cut my shim at. And it turned out it's about 8 and 9 sixteenths. So I cut that, and I actually installed the one on the left already, because it's just easier for me to shoot on the right side. So, and I took the liberty of using my Wix bit already to drill the center hole in the slide. So all I need to do right now is put the screw in. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Wix bit, and boy, it's getting a little tight in here. Let's go to that hole there. And that's about all I need. And another 8 by 3/4 wood screw. And if I can get into there, yes I can. And that should be that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to move you guys out of the way here. And I'm going to take my clamps off while you're here. And I'm going to slide this out. And there we go. There, that side is in. So I'm going to go get the drawer, and I'm going to come back and show you when it's in. Okay, and we're back. Yeah, after going through one project with these slides, once I understood everything and realized what I was dealing with, these things are amazing. Like, you can see the sides so nicely, see the joinery, they work so nicely. They're an awesome slide. But if I had to do this again, to start over from scratch, I may have done things just a tad differently. But I think when I went through this, I came up with a few things to consider when you're installing or working with these drawer slides. And the first one is make sure that you've purchased the style of slide that's going to meet your needs and is what you want. I made the mistake of assuming that all these slides were the same. When you work with slides like this, they tend to be. They're all pretty much exactly the same. The measurements are the same. I assumed, and I assumed incorrectly. So these, okay, this is Canadian prices and all this. This is the model of the box. I'm assuming that's what they are. I think that's the model number. I don't know. But I've been looking at other models and I realized that the clips I have are the cheap clips, the non-adjustable ones. So I think for my kitchen cabinets, I'm going to spend a bit more money on the hardware. Okay, not that this is bad. I think, and it seems to be, quite strong. So I think it's good stuff, but I think I'm going to upgrade when I build my kitchen cabinets. So make sure you buy what you need and realize they're not all the same. That you need to realize, and I didn't. Then what you need to do is make sure you have the correct instructions for the slide that you've chosen. I did not have this, and that led to a lot of frustration. So I think with the right instructions for the right hardware, a lot of my problems would have been overcome. So that's really important. Another thing you should consider, and I'm going to talk about both of them at the same time, number 3 and 4 on my list, are consider the type of joinery you're going to use on your drawer and the material you're building it out of. Because on my slides, it says like 5/8 thick material was the thinnest material that they had instructions for these slides, but I'm using 1/2-inch material. But to me on this slide, it didn't matter. Once I figured everything out, it was okay. But again, make sure that you understand your instructions and maybe read your instructions before you buy your stock for your drawer sides. Materials, not really slide related, but I'm wondering, I think maybe if I do it again, I'd be tempted to use solid maple. As solids, this stuff does not sand well at all, but I think it looks good and I'm happy with this. So, and what else? Okay, drawer length seems to be critical. Now, I was led to believe or told that this needed to be the length of the slide that you bought. So I bought 20-inch slides, and my drawer is exactly 20 inches. But it doesn't seem to want to let, like 20 inches is exact, and to get the clip to engage the part of the drawer slide it needs to has been a bit problematic. I've really had trouble, and I suspect with this one, it's from all the messing around I did with it. I've maybe dulled the edge on something, and I had a dickens of a time getting this right slide to click in and hold, but now it seems to be fine. So, of all the drawers, this one does not work quite as good as all the others. All these others work awesome. So the length seems to be somewhat critical. So, but I think what I would do, and I did do it, but I didn't do the previous steps when I build a prototype. I would say that this is my prototype. This is the first drawer I built. I built it on camera, so you can go back and look at that if you want to. But building the prototype is where you learn. Like I learned that my measurements were right. For example, what I did is, and maybe this is another thing to do, kind of take the math and make it yours. So I went back to the old style calculation. So for those, it's just a wee little bit over an inch that your drawer should be less than the opening. In my case here, I realized that with the thickness of plywood and everything I used, a 1/2 inch, making my drawer a 1/2 inch smaller, worked really well. So this seems to work great. The clearances are all good. Everything lined up the way it should. So build that prototype. Make sure that you have it right before you move on to other things. And then once you have your prototype, then finalize your materials and get to building. Make sure everything is set up right and you can just mass produce the rest of it. So anyway, that's been my experience with these Undermount slides. I'm happy with it. I think it's going to be great. I'm going to put finish on this thing soon. The next thing here is I'm going to work on drawer faces and doors because I think I need to get that done. And like I said, next week we're going to transfer this kind of to the back burner like it's been. And we're going to start ripping apart the bathroom in the house. And my wife would really like that part to go fast. So I'll show you some of that as well. And once this is done, there's a cabinet that's going to go over the toilet. And I'm going to build a new medicine cabinet. So there's still a bunch of building to do, but I have all the material for it. All the material is going to be either, you know, the oak, the imported birch for the structure, and Baltic birch for the cabinets, or for the drawers, sorry. So anyway, that kind of wraps up what I was going to talk about today. So remember, like and subscribe. We're at 92 people, so another 8 and we're to 100, and then you can win that cool prize. So, you know, keep watching, and I'll try to keep making better video each time I do this. And we will see you in chapter 22, probably on the weekend sometime. And have an awesome week, everybody, and enjoy the Easter season.